Welcome everybody. My name is Jennifer Jaco DeVries. I'm here with Eric Twait for his opening reception for Letters to the Void. We're very, very excited to host this reception for Eric, a local artist here in Brainerd, a person whose work we've been familiar with for years, but also like this is the first full body of work Eric prepared for an exhibition like this. And it's been having great reception all over Minnesota. We're really thrilled to host him here tonight in his hometown of Brainerd. We'll let Eric get started with some talk about his process and how this work came about, and then we'll open it up to questions. So thank you, Eric, for being here.
Oh, thanks. Hi, people usually want to know how I get, started on this kind of artwork. And it kind of goes back like 3 years ago. And my wife Maria was diagnosed with cancer, and later in the year I kind of went into caretaking mode where I was almost not doing anything but taking care of her, and it was almost like I couldn't think for myself, and I had rules to follow. I had to get pills ready, I had to do all these things, and then she was gone. And pretty much the next day, I had to go on with my life. And I stuck with that plan of having these rules to follow. And so I was get up and make coffee and make breakfast and these were my rules. And I knew I wanted to get back to painting, and I hadn't painted in a long, long time. And I thought it might be good for me, but I got out to paint and I had no idea what to do. And so I just kind of fell back on these rules. And I had no idea what I was going to start painting. I just put some paint out and the canvas and I put on the stereo, and I started hearing music. And so I started painting the lyrics to the music. Not the whole thing, but just certain words. Like a word would stand out, and I didn't know what else to do, so I just started painting the words down. And I was just picking out words randomly, and I came up with this. This was the first one, and I called it Letters to the Void, because it seemed like after a while the words I was picking were really important words. They were meaningful, and I saw meaning there. And so, and I made, quite a few rules for the paintings. Like I would turn the canvas, I would switch colors at certain times. I would do things just to keep moving, because I knew if I stopped moving, I probably would never start moving again. So after that, I went on and started painting all these other paintings. It was hard. It was, so after a while, after painting many of these paintings, I realized maybe I didn't need to be painting about grief anymore, and I could paint about other things. So I started to explore what it's like not to paint grief. In this one, I wanted other people to kind of share the same experience. So I used magnetic paint so we could put letters on the canvas. And I wanted people to go to the canvas, put the name of someone they missed, or whatever they were going through, and just kind of get just a little bit of what I got out of it. And I was hoping, they could take pictures of it. It's fine. Post it, do whatever you need to do. So then I started thinking about other aspects, there's one over there about places, and it was really about the places Maria and we would go on these big, fantastic vacations every year. Usually twice a year, we'd go on these giant road trips and like go to all these national parks and like other cities and do things and go on hikes and I just wanted to remember all that. So I put it into a painting in painting form. So I don't know, other people could feel it, get something out of it. These other ones, I have one here. Today is the day. And it was, I think there was like a point where it seemed like to turn around from truly grief work where I was gonna think about other things, like not grief. I was gonna think about happiness and the rest of my life and not just be a widower, be the one who's grieving. I wanted to be more than that. So I wanted to think about the future. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question, Eric.
Yeah.
I was really moved by your artist statement where you talked about that process of taking care of Maria, and then also how before her passing, before your caretaker role, art wasn't enjoyable. It was mostly just a relaxing, joyful experience, and then it became something different. It became something more that you needed.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I think. I mean, it was. I mean, I think I needed the art early on, but I mean, afterwards, I don't think getting through the day-to-day, I needed some reason to get up, and I just made art my reason. I just wanted it to, and there was no goal behind all this. It was just, that was it. That was what I was thinking. Like, I just wanted to put my thoughts down so that they were on the canvas, and beyond that, I really wasn't thinking too much about it. But I felt like after getting it down, it seemed like every time a little bit of weight came off me. Does anyone else have a question?
Can you say a little bit more about hero villain?
Oh, hero villain. So there was like a misunderstanding, and like someone I love got mad at me for no good reason, and it was all not, and then, but I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's all taken care of now. But I started thinking about it like how the hero in one story is maybe someone else's villain. Like, everyone has their own personal narrative. And so I started with hero, the word hero, and the word villain is upside down underneath of it. And the paintings, a lot of these paintings could be really hung any direction, because it doesn't matter. Like if there's something that you like about that painting, sure, like hang it that way, like I don't mind. And so if on that one, if you're having a villain day, sure, hang the villain side up. I would love that.
Put it in your entryway so people know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I have this one. I was thinking about how things were. I was thinking about how many times, such as at the cabin or wherever, that we would play games. And so I wanted to make a playable game, but I still wanted to paint. So I used this magnetic paint again to make the squares so you can move your pieces, and I made a spinner. And the rules are painted on there all around it, but they're ridiculous and you can't read them. So And that's important. Like you don't only need the rules. So
how many paintings are there total in your Letters to the Void series?
Well, there's 22 in the series, but then there's like some of them like still the same sort of artwork, like the letters on canvas. So there's probably about 30 of them total. So different sizes. I don't know. I can't seem to stick to
Really
there might be something like, depending on what I want to express, I might be picking a different canvas. I'm not sure. Like, it always seems like, why'd I pick this one? You know, why'd I pick this size? I don't know if I have an answer. Another thing, like somebody asked me once, is if I'm painting about grief, why didn't I paint in black? Why was I painting so many colors? And it's like, well, number one, I didn't want to paint in black. I didn't want to be the Addams Family or whatever. And Maria liked colors. I mean, she wore colors. She liked colors in her house. She liked being colorful, having colorful language. So it just seemed wrong to paint something that would look like that. So a lot of people see this and they're surprised that it's grief art. You know, like if that's a genre, they're expecting something more happy, and but it's not. But it is. You know, like I want to celebrate her life, so that's part of it. Anything else?
Do you think this series is done?
I don't know if it'll ever be done. I don't know. I haven't painted one in this series in a while, but I'm still painting this style.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you still adhere to your original rules?
Yes.
Okay.
The rules got way more complicated. I do
okay.
think about them, but the rules work, so I'm keeping them.
Okay. Can you recite your rules for us?
Oh,
Kind of
sure.
like what are Eric's rules?
Well, I gotta have a starting word. So like, and the starting word, so now the starting word is usually the theme of the whole painting. It's usually not just a word, but maybe a phrase. And then I go from there. After a time, I'll rotate the canvas. So at certain
Clockwise
times,
or counterclockwise?
I always rotate the canvas clockwise.
Quarter
but
turn?
Then, yes, quarter
I want
turn.
the rules. I'm
And
asking
then-
for the rules.
And then I go around the palette in the same order.
Okay.
And I always go around the palette counterclockwise. And I can't add any paint until I've gone all the way around the palette. And then I have to like assess which color I need. Like that's a big thing because it has to be, I don't want all colds or all hots. And
So your palette is color wheel palette. So
yeah,
you're sitting there looking at it.
yes, I kind of do a color wheel palette.
Okay.
I don't, maybe not necessarily. Sometimes I jump around, and I usually like almost never like mix colors on the canvas on these. I'm painting straight.
Do you mix your mediums on each canvas?
Oh, mix.
Or are you using one type of medium for everything? Or
Oh.
does it change per canvas?
No, well, it's all acrylics,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know. I don't really mix them.
Okay, so no oil.
No oil, no. And then later, I found watercolor pens, or not watercolor, acrylic pens, and they're pretty cool. They let me get like really fine lines and stuff. And so then I had to make a whole bunch of rules for those. So,
Such as thick to thin, or what are your rules on your pens?
wow. Do you really want to go into that?
I think part of the process is fascinating.
So I usually pick out pick them out, set them aside as I'm using them, and then try to keep incorporating those same colors over and over. Otherwise, they kind of go too crazy, too many values. So, I don't know, that's about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you?
Saying Maria would approve.
Yeah.
I
She
think
wouldn't
so.
approve just black and white.
She wouldn't approve of black and white.
I think this is very happy. Did I hear you say
Well, I mean,
not so much, but
it is, but it isn't. I mean, I had people I didn't even know, like, who didn't know Maria, have seen it and then started looking at them and then started to cry. And then other people just thought it was just a big word find puzzle and just didn't even realize that they meant anything at all.
well, I like that it's a celebration really of her life.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that.
that's what it turned into. That was, I mean, I don't know what my original intent was, just to get out of the house, I guess, but this is what it turned into.
I think it just flowed out of you.
I think it did too. What do you have to say, Darwin?
This is kind of relative to your artist process, but how did you know when you were done with one? Was it relative to like, you filled all the rules? Or, was it like after processing through that idea? Like, how did you kind of come to realize, like, okay, I think this one's done? Or did you just...
Well, we'd get to a point where I would have the whole canvas filled
There you
and
go.
I would feel, it would just kind of feel done. I don't know how to explain it more than that. It would just kind of feel like I think I'm done with this one.
Did you typically work on one at a time, or did you have multiple going?
There was a little while, like in the beginning, where I was doing like I think right after I did this one, the next ones I started doing two at a time, and so the words would go from one canvas to another, but then when I turned them, so then they'd get all jumbled right away. And then at one point I did 4 at once, but then, I don't know, it got kind of confusing. So I went back to doing 1.
Do you continue to listen to music when you paint?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you have a genre of music that you most prefer to paint?
I'm kind of all over the place.
Okay. Does it influence what you're painting in a day, or vice versa? Like, are you choosing
You
music
know, I'd like to
over
think
painting?
it doesn't, but it probably does. I don't really paint the music anymore. I don't know. That was just the beginning. Maybe the first couple, but after that it was just straight on, mostly just letters, notes to Maria.
So do you find yourself, when you mentioned the hero villain painting and the fun painting, do you find yourself using the painting as a way to work through things, similar to the way you worked through grief?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, yes, the working through like any subject. Like if I just think about, I did a little short series on like happiness, and then I got to a certain point and I was like, the third one was like, is this happiness or is this something else? And then, so I called the next 2 impediments to happiness. Mm-hmm. So it was like kind of all the reasons that I wasn't truly happy in my life. Mm-hmm. So those aren't here.
I think as you say that, I have a background in writing, and writing is a way to process your feelings and or your thoughts and ideas, and it's really fascinating that you're essentially writing on canvas in some ways here and processing.
I thought about that long and hard, and it's like whether I should keep a journal or whatever, but I'm like, nobody's ever gonna read this crap. Like, I'm just gonna paint it and make it look how I want, and I can still get it out. Like, I think that's the real part of journaling is getting it out. Yeah. Like, and so I've done that part, but then I decorated it, and now it's like put out for everyone. So, and then I was also thinking about like the whole concept of like how like men kind of hide their feelings. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I didn't want to do that. Like, I think I don't know, it's almost cowardly in a way. Like hiding your feelings, like, you're still feeling those feelings. Like, why don't you share them? Like, why don't you show the world, like, that you're real? So, I mean, that was part of it too.
Any other questions?
Anyone else?
Thank you for sharing this work with us, Eric.
Oh,
It's very meaningful
well,
and
thank you for
impactful, and
having
we're
me.
happy to have you here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.